Good Wednesday evening, July 9th, and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. Chelan County Commissioners Monday approved the $2.6 million sale of a Malaga property to the Center for Alcohol and Drug Treatment to be the new site of its inpatient facility. A motorist is dead after her SUV traveled off a cliff on the North Cascades Highway. Seasonal temperatures with less wind on Thursday before another heat wave sets in on Friday. Your full local weather forecast is straight ahead. Douglas County has a new chief prosecutor. Sean Patrick Lewis was appointed Monday by the Douglas County Board of Commissioners to serve as the county prosecuting attorney through 2026. He takes over the elected office left by Gordon Edgar, who resigned at the end of June after 6.5 years in office and 23 years as a deputy prosecutor. Lewis has practiced law for 28 years. He was previously a city attorney for East Wenatchee, and just last year joined the Chelan County Prosecutor's Office as a deputy. The Douglas County Prosecutor's seat will go up for election in November 2026. Chelan County Commissioners on Monday approved the $2.6 million sale of a Malaga property to the Center for Alcohol and Drug Treatment to be the new site of its inpatient facility. The center's residential inpatient and detox programs now operate in Wenatchee. The move would relocate those services away from the city. The property is located at 2729 Mill Pond Drive in Malaga. Loretta Stover, the center's director, says if designs and permitting go as expected, groundbreaking could begin in late 2026. Funding for the land's purchase and construction comes from $19.6 million allocated in the state's 2023 capital budget. Hospital leaders and local activists spoke out Tuesday against scheduled cuts to Medicaid that could force several north central Washington medical centers to close. Rural People's Voice hosted the press conference at Three Rivers Hospital in Brewster. It's one of a half a dozen hospitals in the region that say the reductions in Medicaid just passed by Congress and signed into law by President Trump would leave no way for many patients to pay for care.
This is a sacred kind of thing that we do here at the hospital, is to be able to provide the highest quality of care regardless of the insurance that people have. And we hope that those who are in power will take a different tack and look for different ways to cover the costs of the budget. We also want to say that this is one of those kinds of situations where when people don't have the care and the coverage that they need for their health care, that they suffer even their own lives. They may not be able to sustain life because they depend on this hospital and they need the coverage that they have in order to be able to access this care. Our hope, our goal, our prayer is that we will be able to continue to be able to offer that care to those important people in our community.
A woman sustained injuries yesterday after crashing her car into a mailbox. According to East Wenatchee Assistant Police Chief Eric Hampton, the driver was headed eastbound on 9th Street Northeast around 2 p.m. when she reached towards her passenger seat to retrieve an item and veered her car into that mailbox. She then allegedly overcorrected and collided with a large boulder in a nearby yard, tipping her vehicle onto its side. The woman was transported to Confluence Health Hospital Central Campus for treatment for her injuries. She was also cited for inattention. When we come back, 2 Wenatchee Valley College students have created a design for a modernized operating system at Dryden Dam. 7th District State Representatives Hunter Abel and Andrew Engel will be hosting 2 town hall meetings this month to answer questions from community members. And the lead federal prosecutor for Eastern Washington has stepped down. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
There's no place like home. Because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories. And we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier. Total comfort, totally happy.
Call Alpine Air Heating and Cooling today. Your comfort is their priority.
Between juggling groceries, preparing meals, and lending a helping hand, you're a hero without a cape. But who's there to support you? Aging and Adult Care honors caregivers like you, the relatives, friends, and neighbors, helping loved ones remain safely at home. Aging and Adult Care offers chore services, respite, personal care, and more. Serving Chelan, Douglas, Grant, Lincoln, Adams, and Okanagan counties, call Aging and Adult Care at 1-800-572-4459 for caregiver support.
Central Washington Water understands the power of healing waters. If part of your wellness routine includes hot heat from a sauna, Central Washington Water now carries indoor and outdoor infrared and hot rock saunas by Tilo. Research shows there are many health benefits to a cold plunge after a good workout or relaxing time in your sauna. Harness the power of water in a hot spring spa, plug-and-play spas, a Tilo sauna, or a cold plunge tub. Stop by Central Washington Water, your wellness experts.
2 Wenatchee Valley College students have created a design for modernized operating system at Dryden Dam. Dylan Cornelius and Juan Martinez have proposed introducing an electromechanical control system for the Lowhead Weir near Dryden that diverts water into the Highline Irrigation Canal from the Wenatchee River. The students claim that doing so would improve both automation and data collection. Cornelius and Martinez presented their design to Chelan County PUD commissioners using a 3D model and physical prototype during a meeting last Monday. PUD Commissioner Gary Arsenault congratulated the 2 students on their proposed design, calling it, quote, fabulous. A motorist is dead after her SUV traveled off a cliff on the North Cascades Highway. It happened about 2:30 p.m. on Tuesday. The Washington State Patrol says 62-year-old Tamara Harang of Blaine veered off the right-hand side of the roadway while traveling west approaching Washington Pass. Her 2015 Buick Encore tumbled 450 feet down the slope and then burst into flames. Harang was pronounced dead at the scene. The precise cause of the fatal crash is under investigation. 7th District State Representatives Hunter Abel and Andrew Engel will be hosting 2 town hall meetings this month to answer questions from community members. An East Wenatchee Town Hall will take place July 16th at the East Wenatchee City Hall. 12th District Representative Brian Burnett will join Abel and Engel for the meeting since his legislative district includes Wenatchee. Then a Twist Town Hall will take place the following day, July 17th at the Twist Valley Grange. Both town halls will begin at 5:30 p.m. and are open to the public. The lead federal prosecutor for Eastern Washington has stepped down. Richard R. Barker resigned as acting United States Attorney on Monday. He assumed the office at the start of this year after U.S. Attorney Vanessa Waldriff, appointed by President Biden, resigned with President Donald Trump's re-election to office. Barker says he will work in private practice after 11 years with the federal office. Trump has yet to appoint a permanent attorney for the Eastern District, which pursues federal criminal and civil cases in every county east of the Cascades. Barker will be succeeded on an interim basis by Deputy Attorney Stephanie Van Martyr. Coming up next, Mobile Meals of Wenatchee is the nonprofit program through Confluence Health that's been bringing hot food daily to clients' doors for more than 50 years. We will tell you about their fundraiser coming up this weekend in tonight's feature story. A red flag warning is in effect until 8 p.m. tonight. I'll have your full local weather forecast straight ahead. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
Welcome to the summer of good. Good people, good taste, good vibes, and good, well, everything. When you're ready for some old-fashioned good, Abby's is your place. We've been celebrating summers around the P&W for over 60 years. At Abby's, good is a legendary tradition.
Holy pepperoni, Abby Man. It's the hometown hero bursting onto the scene this July at a special price, starring classic pepperoni, green peppers, and Italian sausage. One bite and wham. Don't miss the summer's biggest blockbuster. The hometown hero has arrived at Abby's.
The pitch by Busich. Wenatchee Apple Sox are back on the NCWLIFE channel. Watch as they take on the Nanaimo Night Owls Friday, July 18th. Coverage brought to you by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Also by Abby's Pizza, Apple Valley Honda, Biosports Physical Therapy, Coldwell Banker Cascade Real Estate, Global Car Care, Harvest Valley Pest Control, and Highlander Golf Course and Grill. Your exclusive television home for Apple Sox baseball is the NCWLIFE channel.
BC Outdoor Sport Fishing TV, Season 14. Join your host Mike Mitchell and his special guests as they explore some of the most exciting fisheries BC has to offer. BC Outdoors Sport Fishing TV. Check your listings for airtimes.
Mobile Meals of Wenatchee is the nonprofit program through Confluence Health. It's been bringing hot food daily to clients' doors for more than 50 years. That volunteer group served more than 900 meals around the valley in the month of March alone. The organization hosts its yearly fundraising concert this Sunday at Columbia Grove Covenant Church. In tonight's feature story, NCWLIFE's Dan Kuntz caught up with the Mobile Meals organizers recently to talk about their mission.
Last few years, we've just had so much more competition as far as home delivered meals. But I like to tell people our meals come with an actual person and a smile. And that may be the only human contact they get that day. So that's nice to include that human experience.
This is Mobile Meals, which has been going on for over 50 years now, founded by a bunch of wives from doctors here at the hospital.
Yes.
Not Meals on Wheels, two different organizations.
Yes.
And I would do this every year, but you need to explain to our viewers the difference between your organization, Mobile Meals, and Meals on Wheels.
Right, so Mobile Meals, who is us, Mobile Meals of Wenatchee, we deliver in Wenatchee from the Wenatchee River Bridge to Mission View School, so mostly in the city limits. East Wenatchee is Oda-Bashan Bridge to 8th Street South, River up to the airport. Now, if somebody needs a meal out in rural areas, and I'll just define rural as where we don't deliver, but it may be a different county too, I will refer them to Meals on Wheels. Meals on Wheels actually is federally funded.
It's subsidized.
It is subsidized.
Your organization is not.
We are not. We are private nonprofit. So who I can't help or Mobile Meals can't help, I always refer them to Meals on Wheels.
One of the biggest costs is picked up essentially by the hospital and their outstanding cafeteria staff. If they don't do that, this really doesn't work. But talk about that. Talk about that partnership between your organization and the hospital.
Exactly. So like you said before, since 1971, it started out with St. Anthony's, went to Rosewood. And this is just the evolution that led up to Central Washington Hospital. So they prepare the food, which is an entree, 2 sides, those are hot. And then also with the entree is included your choice of a side of dessert or fruit. And then a little bit extra, folks can get soup or a salad.
Yeah, for like $1.25, you'll throw in a salad with some soup.
So all of that is prepared in the kitchen at Central. The Confluence Health also donates, and this is huge, office expenses, phone, all those types of utilities, they donate. So that is huge. Without that, honestly, we couldn't operate.
We have about 6 routes, and so it's very enlightening for me because I'm helping people, which is something I've always done. But some of these people, you just put it in an ice chest at their front door, you know, and so there's a few people I've been doing this for a number of years that I've never met.
For a lot of people, this is their only meal of the day.
Yeah.
Only square meal of the day.
Yep.
There might be some light snacking here and there, but they depend on this.
Yeah. I delivered to a former doctor who's in his 90s now, and yeah, it's his meal for the day. And they, fortunately, besides the regular meal, there's dessert, soup, salad, and they can select that if they want or not.
You're short some drivers, so sell driving for mobile meals to the general public out there, why people should do it, because they need drivers.
If you like to help people and give, and people that are, let's say, challenged because of age or coming out of the hospital, that kind of thing, this helps them. And you show up here, and our Trish, who's the one that runs the food part of it and all that,
Does it well.
Oh, she did. Yeah, it's an amazing program, and the route sheets are so detailed that you can't get lost. Anyway, but yeah, it takes an hour, hour and a half, and that's it. You pull up here, and you can drive 1 day a month, which is what my wife does, and or you can drive multiple days, depending on what your schedule is. And so I usually drive, depending on, every day, every month we have an extra day, so then we pick that up somewhere.
And the pay is fantastic. You get a big warm feeling in your heart.
The
Best
pay
pay
is
you can get.
Yeah, in fact, when Trish called me about this interview, I said, "Oh, you're going to increase my pay?" And she says, "Oh yeah, we'll double it." So instead of getting 1 0, I get 2 zeros.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a fantastic Wednesday. A little cooler out there today, but windier, and we also saw some clouds. And boy, talk about a dramatic shot as we look out our weather window from this afternoon up at beautiful Lake Wenatchee. Looks like a shower coming down in the mountains up that way, but still some blue sky behind that. And we did have some of those dark clouds around today, but basically just some clouds, and that's pretty much all it was in the Wenatchee area. But we're still under a red flag warning until 8 p.m. tonight, and that's in this pink area you see on the map, and that includes Wenatchee, Chelan, up into Omak, over into Moses Lake as well. Seeing some pretty good winds out there, 15 to 30 miles an hour, and we could even get some gusts 30 to 40. Right now the problem is relative humidity is only about 18 to 28%, and temperatures still on the warm side, so be extra careful as this wind finally dies down late tonight. High temperature today unofficially 87, right in the ballpark where we should be for this time of year. 86 is our normal high. 105 our record, and that was set in 1975. Another warm one this morning, 70 our overnight low. 61 is where we should be for this time of year, and 47 our record, and that was set in 1972. Sunrise this morning 5:14 and sets tonight at 8:58. Taking a look at your temperatures as we get into Thursday, a lot like today and seasonal for Thursday. The good news about tomorrow, we'll still see some breezy conditions, but not as windy as what we had this afternoon. 88 in Moses Lake and Ephrata. 87 the high in Quincy, 86 is then for Wenatchee and Eniat, 85 the high temperature tomorrow in Kashmir. Taking a look at tonight, we do expect partly cloudy skies with maybe some clearing to the east. Still a little bit breezy right here in central Washington. Overnight lows tonight pretty much where they should be, into the low 60s. For your Friars, should say Thursday, as we get into the Thursday forecast, mostly sunny, and still a little bit breezy, especially in the afternoon tomorrow. High temperatures comfortable though into the mid 80s, and that's normal for this time of year. For your Friday, and as we end our work week, get ready for yet another heat wave. This will begin our next heat wave. Sunny on Friday. High temperatures in the mid 90s, and that orange is going to turn awfully dark as we make our way into the weekend, because we're talking temperatures near 100 degrees on both Saturday and Sunday. Sunny and hot on Saturday. Nothing but blue sky around Washington State as we kick off our weekend. High temperatures a lot like Friday, into those mid 90s, maybe a little bit warmer than that. And then as we get into Sunday, we will see warmer temperatures and some windy conditions in the afternoon on Sunday. Man, it's going to be sunny, hot, and windy on Sunday with high temperatures in the upper 90s. We will probably have some critical fire weather as we get into the end of the weekend. And then on Monday, sunny, unseasonably hot. High temperatures still in the upper 90s as that ridge of high pressure stays over us, and that allows all that desert southwest warmth to come our way. And by the end of our forecast on Tuesday, sunny, still hot with high temperatures in the upper 90s. So get ready for a hot forecast ahead. All right, 7-day forecast, 63 overnight tonight, breezy, mostly sunny, and 86 for your Thursday. And then, as I mentioned, that next heat wave begins on Friday. Sunshine all the way through until Tuesday, 94 Friday, mid-90s Saturday, and then we are jumping up into the upper 90s for Sunday, Monday, and once again on Tuesday. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
I'm Jen Mueller. Watch for my show, I Cook, You Measure on NCWLIFE. It's part cooking instruction, part entertainment, and all about connecting over food and wine with your favorite Northwest athletes.
Watch I Cook, You Measure with Jen Mueller Mondays at 1, Wednesdays at 2, Fridays at 11 a.m., and Saturday and Sundays at 10:30 p.m. right here on the NCWLIFE channel.
The pitch by Busich.
The Wenatchee Apple Sox are back on the NCWLIFE channel. Watch as they take on the Nanaimo Night Owls Friday, July 18th. Coverage is brought to you in part by Kennedy Real Estate Group, Les Schwab, Sangster Motors, Save Mart, Tacos Chava, Together for Youth, and Valley Tractor. Your exclusive television home for Apple Sox baseball, NCWLIFE channel, your local TV station.
What do you think of that?
Pretty big, I like it.
Watch for new episodes of The Northwest Outdoorsman on the NCWLIFE channel, your local TV station. Well, a happy hump day to you. The Yankees rained on Seattle's Parade in New York last night, winning 10-3. The game was scoreless in the 5th inning when a rain delay stopped action for over 40 minutes. That allowed the Yankee bats to wake up and for Logan Gilbert to cool down. New York scored a run in the 5th, 5 in the 6th, 4 more in the 7th to go on for the 10-3 victory. Aaron Judge hit his 34th homer, while Cal Raleigh answered in the 8th with his 36th.
Cal with a deep drive to right field, way back and gone, up to the second deck in right field. Cal Raleigh, when will we stop being amazed? His 36th home run. It is now the most ever by a Seattle Mariner before the All-Star break.
Chop to Peraza, Fields, fired, ball game, and the Yankees win 10-3.
Manager Dan Wilson says it was definitely not the way they drew up the opener of a 6-game road trip before the All-Star break.
Tough one tonight. Obviously, Yankees with several homers that, kind of break the game open. I thought Logan threw the ball very well, particularly early on, and was pretty dominant, and they were finally able to get to him there with Stanton. But offensively, we made some noise late, which was great, and that's what hopefully we can take that momentum in to tomorrow's ball game. Julio hit that ball hard in the gap, and then Cal with number 36, and congratulations to Cal, another record for him to set the pace for the Mariners, and so a couple of positives toward the end, and take that into tomorrow.
The two teams are meeting again right now, that game on Root Sports Northwest. Well, the good news for Mariner fans is that Seattle didn't lose any ground in the American League West. Cleveland beat Houston in 10 innings, 10-6 on Angel Martinez's grand slam home run. Texas hit 3 homers as the Rangers pounded the Angels 13-1. Athletics scored 10 runs in the first 3 innings, went on for a 10-1 victory over Atlanta. So far this season, Kamloops has had Wenatchee's number. The North Paws beat the Apple Sox for the 5th time in 7 games last night, this time by a score of 6-5. The visitors got on the board first on an RBI single by Drew Schmitz. Wenatchee tied it in the 5th on a sacrifice bunt by Kanoa Morisaki. Kamloops retook the lead on Joey Rico's 2-run home run in the top of the 8th before the Apple Sox battled back in the bottom half of that inning with 2 runs to make it 3-3 heading into the 9th. That's when the wheels rattled as the North Paws scored 3 runs, 2 of which off of normally reliable reliever Carson Bozel. Wenatchee came back in their last bat on a 2-run triple by Jacob Croxford. He was left stranded, though, at third base as Kamloops went away with the victory.
Catching on the road, but
Haythorne's next pitch swung on and drilled into the air to left center field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. So we talked about the ability of Mr. Schmidt to cause some problems, and he does again as Kamloops is off to the early lead, 1-0. Pitch on the way. He'll square to bunt, bunts it up the first baseline. Pitcher off the mound. Only play will be to first base, and that's it. And the game is tied at 1-1.
Mitch is probably telling middle infielders to play well.
Pitch here swung on and driven deep to right field, and that's going to be gone. A 2-run home run for Joey Rico gives the North Paws a 3-1 lead.
That ball was crushed. And that's the reason why he's their DH pitcher.
Yep. So a 2-run home run silences the crowd here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. Pitch on the way, swung on, and a line drive to left field. That's going to be caught. Runner from third tags. Here comes the throw home. It'll skip away, and a run scores. The Apple Sox have cut the lead to 1. It's now 3-2. Pitch on the way, swung on and through for a base hit. The game is tied at 3-3. Evan Cloyd, welcome back to the Wenatchee Apple Sox, gets the game-tying hit here with 2 outs on the bottom of the 8th inning. The 2-1 pitch swung on and driven to right center, and that's going to get down for a base hit, maybe extras. They will hold him at first base, and an RBI single by Polkowski, and North Paws take the lead 4-3. Bozel's pitch swung on and grounded to third. Only play is across to first, and the ball gets away from the first baseman and up the line and rounding third, heading for home. Here's the play at the plate, not in time, and it's Kamloops up now 2 runs, 5-3. Pitch on the way by Garcia. Swung on and a fly ball to left center, right center field. It's going to get out for extra bases. Rounding third, heading for home. Run's going to score. 2 runs are going to score. Rounding second, heading in for third, and safe with a 2-run triple is Jacob Croxford.
Oh, wow.
We've seen all the All-Stars on the mound tonight for Wenatchee, trying to come back in the 9th inning. The pitch on the way to Martinez, and he'll swing and miss, and that will be the ball game as the Apple Sox go down to defeat here tonight. And ouch, this one hurts a ton as they fall by a final of 6-5. The 2 teams play again tonight at 6:35 at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. You can listen for the action on Sunny FM with Avery Cooper on the play-by-play, or better yet, head out to the ballpark. Get your tickets at applesox.com. Well, in other West Coast League action last night, Jacob Hayes' 2-run home run in the bottom of the 5th gave Nanaimo the lead, and the Night Owls would go on for the 9-4 win over visiting Kelowna. Edmonton's Max Stagg was a home run short of the cycle, going 3 for 5 with 5 ribbies in the Riverhawks 8-6 win at Bellingham. Dylan Lopez broke a 1-1 tie in the top of the 9th with a 2-run home run as Victoria hung on for a 3-2 victory at Port Angeles. Lefty scored a run in the bottom of the 9th, had runners at second and third, but then Tommy Markey struck out for the game to come to an end. Corvallis won for the 9th straight time as Maddox Risky's 3-run home run at the top of the 9th helped the Knights overcome Ridgefield on the road 11-9. Ben scored 15 runs on 13 hits and a 15-9 win over the Marion Berries. Cowlitz they overcame 4 errors in a 4-2 win over Walla Walla. Springfield doubled up Yakima Valley 12-6. Pippin saw their record drop to 7-24 on the season. That's sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a happy Wednesday.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more news from around North Central Washington, you can find us at NCWLIFE.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. Email us at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us, and have a great night.